look at it. Oh, look at it. Okay. Oh, that's my puppy. Oh, that's so cute. No, I don't like sharks. Dang it, I forgot to call Josh and Jacqueline.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Josh. I was wondering if you wanted to come over in like 2 hours to watch the movie.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Alright, bye.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi.
Okay, so I was like totally wondering if you wanted to come over in 2 hours to watch the movie.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, come on in.
Hey.
Hi.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know, I can watch what I want whenever I want to.
Okay.
You have any popcorn?
Josh,
What? Hungry already.
your stomach is a bottomless pit.
I haven't eaten in like the past 10 minutes.
Wow.
Here we go.
Alright. This is Vatican City. Wow.
Situated on the spot where St. Peter was martyred and buried almost 2,000 years ago, this has always been an important area for the Holy See. Prior to 1860, most of central Italy was governed by the Papal States, of which the Pope was the head. Their lands were protected by hired soldiers that fought for money and international armies. By 1860, however, most of the Papal States had been absorbed into the Kingdom of Italy, with the city of Rome last to surrender in 1870. In 1929, the Lateran Treaty allowed the state of the Vatican City to be formed, and thenceforth ruled by the Bishop of Rome, the Pope.
Another part of the history of Vatican City includes the original basilica, which is a privileged Roman Catholic church. The story begins in 326 AD, when Emperor Constantine, who had Christianity officially recognized, built a basilica over St. Peter's tomb. Later digging, ordered by Pope Pius between 1939 and 1941, did indeed find a tomb. Once the basilica was built, the surrounding area, where the Vatican now sits, was largely developed with buildings relating to the duties of the church. Much to Michelangelo's despair, the original basilica, including its ancient Roman columns and facade, were clumsily torn down by Borromeo, the Pope's architect and initial designer of St. Peter's Basilica, and very little of the original structure was salvaged. This was not to be the start of a good relationship between the two. In later years, the area that Vatican now occupies was to be included in the fortified walls of Rome, the other side of the Tiber River, but still within the ancient walls. This format was to be convenient for the Lateran Treaty.
The security of Vatican City is mostly made of the Swiss Guard, which protects the Pope. To be a Swiss Guard, you must have basic training in the Swiss Army. You must be single, Catholic, 5 feet, 8.5 inches tall. When sworn in, they show 3 fingers representing God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, they dress in traditional armored clothing. You are allowed to take pictures of them when you see them, but be aware they are a strong military force, so they will harm you, possibly even kill you, if you threaten them or the Pope.
Vatican City is one of the most famous places in southern Europe. Vatican City also has many famous places in it. Famous art masterpieces are found here. Many arts came from the Renaissance period. Such artists include Raphael, Michelangelo, Botticelli, Perugino, and Pinturicchio. Some of their works are painted in the Sistine Chapel.
The Sistine Chapel is probably the most well-known place in Vatican City. It is the Pope's domestic chapel. The ceiling was commissioned by Pope Julius II and painted by world-famous Michelangelo. The walls were painted mostly by Perugino, Botticelli, and Signorelli. It was built between 1473 and 1484 by Pope Sixtus IV.
Another very famous place in Vatican City is the Vatican Palace. The Vatican Palace is one of the world's most historical and artistic palaces. This palace is also called as the Apostolic Palace, the Papal Palace. It lies immediately to the right of St. Peter's Square. It has the best architects in Rome. The first pope resident of this palace was Nicholas III. After 1450, Pope successors embellished and enlarged the Vatican Palace. It also includes Pope's own residential apartments, offices, a number of ecclesiastical bodies, and a Vatican library apart from the Vatican museums.
The St. Peter's Basilica is the largest basilica in the world. It was built in 1506 over the remains of St. Peter's tomb. The spectacular monuments from Bernini, Michelangelo, and many other great architects are very admirable in the basilica. St. Peter's Square, or St. Peter's Piazza, is located directly in front of the St. Peter's Basilica. The open space which lies before the basilica was redesigned by Gian Lorenzo Bernini between 1656 and 1667 under the direction of Pope Alexander VII.
The Vatican Museums are the largest and the greatest art and sculpture museums in the world. They are situated in the exquisite Vatican Palace and have an astonishing collection of arts and artifacts of the Roman Catholic Church. There are 12 large complexes of 1,300 rooms, requiring any tourist to make several trips. Some of the museums include the Egyptian Museum, the Octagonal Courtyard, the Hall of the Muses, the Vatican Historical Museum, and the Gallery of Modern Religious Art. In 2008, 4.5 million prospectors visited the Vatican museums. All places to worship are in Catholic churches. Almost the entire religion is Roman Catholic. Popes have ruled Vatican City as much as the government we have here, which is a lot. Lots of popes have died and were buried in St. Peter's Basilica. Apparently the use of Latin is used more commonly in the church than it has been in the past. Popes in their secular role ruled much of the Italian peninsula, including Rome, for about 1,000 years, until 1870. A dispute between a series of popes in Italy was settled in 1929 by treaties that recognized the Vatican City as an independent sovereignty and gave Roman Catholicism special status in Italy. The U.S. established formal diplomatic relations with the Vatican in 1984. About 1 billion people worldwide profess the Roman Catholic faith. Vatican City is definitely a place to visit for its history, security, museums, and religion. I have covered some of the Vatican City, but there is still more to see if you come visit this vibrant country.